Hello viewers, welcome back to Alpha Active Learning. Do like, share and comment on my videos and do suggest also. So today Standard 8 Science topic Composition of Matter Part 1. So children, we see many objects around us, and the object which cannot be seen, they all are made up of metals. So whether it's your laptop, smartphone, your toys, the detergent, the perfume, the car, windmill and all the utensils and the materials which we are using in our daily life, they are made up of metals. And as you all know, what is a matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. And we know that the smallest part of this matter is known as atom. So this matter, children, exists in different forms. There are three states of matter. They are solid, liquid and gas. The fourth form is known as plasma. We have seen solid things such as your clock, submarine, bulldozer, hammer, table, furniture, everything. In liquid, it comes the milk, water, all type of juices, soups and drinks. Whereas in gaseous form, yes, it is all the air, oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, the water vapor and anything which you smell it, right? They are in the gaseous form. That means the matter exists in the three different forms, solid, liquid and gases. It may happen that the same substance also seen in three different forms. For example, water at a room temperature is in the liquid state, but on freezing it turns into ice, that is solid state. Again, on melting, the same ice convert into liquid, and on boiling this liquid, it get vaporized into water vapor. So here same matter that is called water has three different states, that is solid, liquid and gases. Now the question is, why matter exists in different states? What is the reason behind this different state? So the main reason is that there exists an intermolecular force of attraction between the particles, that is atom or molecules of matter, and the extent of the particle movement is also determined by the strength of this force. When I say intermolecular, means between the two moles. So look at solid. The intermolecular force in solid is very strong. As a result, the particle movement is negligible, it is fixed in place, and hence the solid is rigid. It has fixed shape as well as fixed volume, and you cannot compress this solid. But look at the liquid. As compared to solid, the intermolecular force is weak, it is moderate. They can move from their place. So liquid, it has no rigidity in the shape, it has no fixed shape, it takes up the shape of the container in which it is filled. But yes, it do has fixed volume. Now this liquid can flow. So fluidity is a property of liquid. But if you observe gas, children, here intermolecular force is very weak. As a result, particles can move very freely, and hence it is not rigid, it is no fixed shape, no fixed volume, but yes, it also flows like liquid. The fourth state is plasma, where it is in the ionic form. See, the main characteristics of the states of matter is fluidity and elasticity. fluidity in found in the liquid and the gaseous form, whereas elasticity is found in solid, for example rubber. Then each of them has volume. We have seen intermolecular force, compressibility. Yes, you cannot compress solid, but liquid and gases can be compressible. Shapes, only solid has a fixed shapes. Whereas distance between the particle, we know that in gases the highest distance is there, whereas solid, the distance between the particle, they are very rigid, so they are very close to each other. So there are basically 6 characteristics of states of matter. Same matter can be also classified into 3 different groups: element, compound and mixture. What is an element? A substance composed of single kind of atom and which cannot be broken down into another substance by chemical or physical means. So children, all the atoms in a molecule of an element are alike, that is they are same, and they are joined to each other by chemical bonds. You know, there are 115 elements, out of which 92 are available. The others, the scientists have predicted that there may be such elements and which may have the properties. We will study about this in 10th standard, where elements are placed in periodic table. Now, what is a compound then? A substance in which 2 or more different elements are chemically bonded together, and here the proportion of constituent element in a compound is constant, it is fixed, and as in case of element, all the molecules of a compound is alike. You will be surprised that the water, the carbon dioxide gas, the hydrogen peroxide and the ammonia, they all are compound and which we are using in our daily life. So what is a mixture? When 2 or more materials or substances are mixed together but do not chemically combine. This means they retain their original properties, and this means that they can be separated by physical means. You know, the salads which we are eating, the green salads, the fruit salads, even the bhel, even the sandwiches, these are the best example of mixtures where you can taste each and every constituent and you can alter their proportion also. The another best example is air, which is a mixture of different gases. But whenever there is a more pollution, we can feel that, right? So why? Because of the alteration in the proportions, the air, the purity of the air can change. So here we can say that the proportion of the constituent substances in a mixture can change, and here there is no chemical bonding. Now the best example, children, of compound and the mixture of our daily life is water and milk. Let's understand why water is compound and why milk is a mixture. First thing, you all know that water is a chemical compound made up of oxygen gas and hydrogen gas. The proportion by weight is 8:1. We all know the formula H2O. Now, this oxygen gas, it supports combustion. It helps in burning. But hydrogen gas is inflammable. वो अपने आप जलता है. Now, even though both have a different property, when they are chemically combined, the water is formed. Surprisingly, this water is neither inflammable nor support combustion, but it is used to extinguish fire. तो पानी कैसा है? आग जो है उसको बुझा देता है. पर हमें पता है इन द इंटीरियर ऑफ विलेजेस और जब आप चूल्हा जलाते हो तो आपको यू नीड टू ब्लो द एयर, सो यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग ऑक्सीजन सो दैट इट विल बर्न. तो ऑक्सीजन जो है वो जलने में हेल्प करता है. हाइड्रोजन खुद जलता है, खुद ही जलता है, but water is used to extinguish the fire. That means the property of water is totally different than the property of oxygen and hydrogen. And you cannot separate by any physical means oxygen and hydrogen from water. Okay, now coming to milk. Milk is a mixture of water, lactose, fats, protein and few more natural substances. We all know we get milk from buffalo and the cow. Percentage of fat in cow milk is 3 to 5% and buffalo milk is 6 to 9%. That milkmen adulterate this milk by adding either the water or urea or other chemicals. And just by mere tasting or seeing the fluidity, we come to know whether the milk is pure or not. So here, while tasting, we know the sweetness of milk, that is because of lactose. Water content also we come to know. So we can say that the properties of the constituent substances are retained in the milk, and yes, you can also add more water or add more fats in it. You can alter this, and that's why in the market you will get the different milk having a different name depending upon the percentage of the fats they have. Now let's take few more example. Water, as I said, it is H2O and it is a compound made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Carbon is made up of only carbon element, whereas oxygen again it's an element where two atoms are combined. Air, as I say, it's a mixture of many gases. Aluminium, again it's an element, and carbon dioxide, CO2. So here one carbon atom combined with two atoms of oxygen. So just think in our day-to-day life which other substances we are using. Try to see whether they are compound, element or mixture. Now let us go in detail about the different types of elements. The elements which are in the pure form can be further categorized as metals, non-metals and metalloids. Metals, example iron and gold, silver, copper, whereas non-metals are coal, wood. Now what are metalloids then? The example of them are silicon and germanium. They are actually midway between metals and non-metals, or you can say they have both the property of metals and non-metals. Now let's understand what is metal. An element is called metal if it possesses few properties. The first property is malleability. Means the property of a substance that describes its ability to be bent or hammered into a thin sheet without breaking. The most simple example is aluminum foil, which we are using to wrap our food. So we can say that these metals are malleable. We know the sheets made up of iron from silver foils are used in making the kaju katli and also in the medicine, and same way the gold foils. The second property is luster. Luster is the way light is reflected from the surface of the mineral. It is the way mineral shines, and hence shining they have luster. Now ductility. Ductility is a property by which we can form the wires from this. So you all know there are the wires made from aluminum, from copper, from silver, from gold. All these metals which we are using in daily life are the good conductor of the heat, and that's why in our kitchen you find the utensils made up of copper, aluminum and iron, whereas the electricity is conducted through the copper and the aluminum wire. From this you can see aluminum, ferrous, calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, aurum and platinum. These are all metals. Children, the costliest metal is platinum, and the only metal liquid at room temperature is mercury. So all these metals are solid in its states. Mercury you have seen in thermometer. Now non-metals means the elements which do not show the property of metals are non-metals. The example is carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen, bromine and selenium. Now non-metals can exist in solid form, liquid form and gaseous form also. So they are the poor conductor of heat and electricity. They are brittle also. They do not have ductility. They do not have luster. And the third is metalloids. So their properties are midway between metals and non-metals. They contain one kind of atoms. Their examples are silicon, boron, germanium, antimony, bismuth and arsenic. Apart from this metal can be chemically combined to form the mixed matter, or we can say alloys. You have heard this word gold medal, silver medal and bronze medal. So this bronze is a combination of copper and tin. You have heard the word brass, the mixture of copper and zinc. So your metal is combining with the metal. And the steel, you all aware the utensils which we are using in our home. It is a combination of iron and carbon. All these alloys are useful in our daily life, whereas they are used from the smallest stapler pin to the biggest machinery and many more things. Now coming to types of compound. The compounds can be classified or categorized as organic compound and inorganic compound. Organic compounds we obtain from living things, whereas inorganic compounds they are not from the living things. Example of organic compounds are sugar, protein and starch, whereas inorganic compounds are carbon dioxide, sodium carbonate and chalk. Now let's understand activity. For this we will take an apparatus, that is tripod stand, burner, wire gauze and evaporating dish. We take the material camphor, washing soda, sugar, blue vitriol and urea. Now as shown in the figure, you arrange all the apparatus, take camphor in it and heat it. Now on heating, two things happen. Either the black colored carbon remain behind as a residue, or there will be no residue and the material will be burned as a flame. So on doing this activity, children, we found that substance like camphor, sugar and the urea left behind the black color residue. Camphor, as you all know, we are using it after aarti, so it burn and black color powder is left. Sugar, you all know what is caramel. You take some sugar in a spoon and burn it, the color will change, and same way is urea. So these substances are known as organic substance, whereas washing soda and blue vitriol, as you can see, they do not have this residue and they are inorganic substance. Apart from the organic and the inorganic, there are complex compound. The word complex suggests that the molecule of a compound have a complex structures, as it is found by many atoms. In the center of this structure, metal atom is there. So the best example is hemoglobin. As you can see in the center, Fe means iron atom is there, which is combined with nitrogen, carbon, oxygen and hydroxyl molecule. Similarly, the chlorophyll, in the center it has magnesium combined with 4 nitrogen atoms and so as carbon and oxygen. If you look at the vitamin B12, the entire structure is very complex as the skin. So in short, children, we can summarize that The matter either exists in the pure form or it exists as a mixture form. If it is in the pure substance, they can be element or it can be compound. If it is a mixture form, again this mixture are of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous, which we are going to discuss later on. So stay tuned for part 2 to like, subscribe and comment. Thank you so much.